Well, I must say, gentlemen, it's very nice of you to let me see inside the cockpit like this. Not many people get to ride in the Fireflash after all. In fact, most that do are never seen again, oddly enough.
Listen, if anyone should be grateful, it's me.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But speaking of gratitude, I would consider it a great honour if one of you two would press the button on the randomizer for me today.
Okay, here we go. And however it turns out, thanks. What's keeping? Let's not get jumpy.
Yes, let's keep calm here. I mean, nothing can go wrong, am I right? Huh? Yeah, right. Well, let's see what we have today. Well, for the second week running, it's Captain Scarlet.
Gee, there's some miscalculation.
Sure was a good try.
Well, no, let's not get too upset, because it's new Captain Scarlet with Virus. Are we going to have enough time to watch it, Captain, or is the Fireflash falling out of the sky to certain disaster?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
We can't land, and if we stay up here, we get radiation exposure. I'd say we've got about 15 minutes.
Well, let's just hope you're wrong then, eh? Again.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I don't know about you, mate, but I'm off for the parachutes. So, welcome back to new Captain Scarlet as a Spectrum jet leaves Skybase, and yeah, oddly enough, the last time we saw new Captain Scarlet, it was immediately after an episode of the original Scarlet. Last time it was the heist after the trap, and yeah, this time it's Virus after Seek and Destroy. But hey-ho, that's just the whims of the randomizer anyway.
Everything okay, Madam Secretary? Get you a coffee or anything?
On board the Spectrum jet is Madam Secretary being escorted by...
How did we score?
CGI Captain Magenta.
This Skybase inspection?
Who appears infrequently through the series, but for some reason only ever speaks in this episode.
Concentrating on getting me home to New York, Captain.
No problem.
This is voiced by Jeremy Hitchin, who was doing voices in other episodes around this time, so I don't know why Magenta didn't speak
Did I
more.
hear that wrong? Or are you trying to flirt with the Secretary of the UN Special Security Council?
You know what, Elaine? Under that body armor, that beats a jealous heart.
Yeah, this is basically all the character is for this episode. Is he's a womanizer, and that is basically the character. Which, to be honest, is fairly limiting. I mean, I think he hits on all the main female cast members in this story at one time or another, and gets shot down each time. So, but speaking of, we're now in the middle of a very exciting, very intense aerial dogfight. This is something that I think actually compares rather interestingly to last week, where we were in a similar situation with the Angels, but this is far more frenetic and so much faster paced than the admittedly gorgeous model shots in that episode. Yeah, we have a squadron of vampire fighters engaging the Angels as they're escorting the jet. Destiny, and there's another Angel in the mix here. I believe that's Melody, although she's wearing Destiny's helmet. Yeah, they're doing quite well. Just so many cuts here, shots that last like half a second tops, and yet it never reaches sort of Quantum of Solace levels of just impossible to follow what's going on this. So it's a huge credit to the team behind this, these aerial combat scenes in multiple episodes. And of course this is a squadron of vampire fighters that the Angels are engaged in here. I don't know why anybody signs up to fly these things anymore, because they're even more prone to being to problems than the Fireflash, constantly being taken over by the Mistrons in this show. Oh, and I waffled over Destiny. She ejected, but now her escape pod has been shot down.
Destiny! Eject!
Heading straight for the sea. Will she make it out in time? Well, there goes the pod. Where's the bod? There she is. Yep, she's ejected, but she's unconscious, and it's back to Skybase for the Spectrum passenger jet. I also like that we saw there on the jet Ochre and Magenta working together. I think in the original series, I think long-time fans of the original series kind of assumed that Ochre and Magenta were partners because they were partnered occasionally. I think that's something that runs through sort of fan fiction circles, that they were partners. So it would have been nice to have seen another partnership in this series aside from Scarlet and Blue. Anyway, Destiny is now in sickbay. She's unconscious. Scarlet is understandably very unhappy about that. Meanwhile...
Still working, senor? Ah, it's such a beautiful sunset.
The Senor is working at his computer at his little beach house.
Don't worry, Arance. I'll soon be finished.
He's another UN...
Fernandez, you have mail.
Fernandez. He's another UN representative. Oh, and lots of green squiggles all over his computer. And coincidentally... Oh, he's going to go for a walk, but he knocked the tea tray that the maid brought in over. Now he's just walking out towards the sea. And you might think another kid show of this era wouldn't show him actually walking in. It would be as heavily implied as possible. No, they show him going in, off to kill himself.
She might not be indestructible like you, Scarlet, but she's going to be all right. She just needs some rest.
Ah, poor old Scarlet.
Indestructible or not, you need some sleep.
You know, Doc, it's the worst thing in the world.
What is?
What the Mr. Uns did to me.
Making you indestructible? Virtually impossible to kill?
What use is it when everyone you care about is so fragile?
And there we go. Those are the kinds of questions that the original series never even went near. Not even close. So, again, these are very short episodes. They're not got the runtime to really fully explore that. But it's nice that they touched on elements like that from time to time.
Some people think he'll be the next Secretary General.
Not anymore, he won't. His body was washed up on the Andalusian coast this morning.
Oh no, not Senor Fernando.
Another member of the Special Security Council. Last week he fell 25 floors from his Johannesburg office. That's 2 mysterious deaths within 7 days. And I've never liked mysteries.
When I brought his evening tea, he was working at his computer. He always had tea at sunset.
And there was nothing unusual?
Nothing. But the security people, they found a tray on the floor, everything broken.
Had there been a fight? Was someone else in here?
And this house is a very nice set. It's a very minimalist set. And yet it looked really nice under the sort of early evening light of the sun going down. And now in full daylight it looks
Check out the computer.
very nice too. Anyway, Scarlet's going to have a look round. The old surveillance footage, and Blue's gonna have a look at the computer. Sure, that's not going to cause any problems. Uh-oh.
Adam? Adam? Anything there?
Nothing I can see, no.
You'd better upload the hard drive to Skybase.
Hint.
Lieutenant Green can find anything.
Hint.
Good idea.
But I do like this with some new Captain Scarlet episodes as well. Their investigations are a bit more forensic than they were in the original series.
Blue, thanks, Adam. I've got your data. I'll let you know what I find.
And now the naughty computer is aboard Skybase. And meanwhile... the drunk's awake.
Welcome back to the land of the living. But you're in no condition to go walkabout.
Oh, what happened?
All in good time.
Well, Destiny's going to be alright, thank goodness.
So if Fernandez left the house on his own, maybe he met someone on the beach.
Maybe. But how did the tea set get broken?
Accident, I guess.
So why didn't Fernandez call the maid to clear it up?
That's what they're there for.
From the security cameras. There was something that wasn't right.
Blue's starting to go a bit too fast.
It wasn't natural. Reminded me of a sleepwalker.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Adam!
And yet, here we go. The first of our regular characters is... well, they come to call it self-destructing in this episode, which is a slightly different way of saying suicide. I'm not quite convinced on how the people who are affected actually go about it, because they just seem sort of trance-like. I get from using the computer they're sort of programmed, but Blue is actually putting up a fight there to make sure he can plunge their car off the cliff. Of course, this is a flying car. Oh, but the engine's broken. But they've got an ejector seat. They've got an ejectable roof. And they can just jump out before the car hits the ground. And of course, Scarlet can somehow use his own body to cushion Blue's fall. Even though they've just fallen like 80 feet. Needless to say, Scarlet is fine. But they've both lost their hats.
Your vital signs are steady.
That's good enough for me.
Not so fast, Destiny. You took quite a beating in that crash.
Yeah, I've got concussion, but so long as my vital signs are fine, I'm good to fly.
With a fever, I couldn't stay in bed. It drove me crazy. You want a crazy woman on your hands?
I'll take that chance.
I've already largely categorized you as crazy in your file anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, but she's gonna sneak out anyway. Meanwhile, our man Magenta, having failed with the UN Secretary, what's her name, having failed with Oka,
Hi there, Serena.
is making the moves on Green.
The Great White Chief.
Good, Mario. How are you?
That smile's making me feel better already. Hey, you know I'm hitting the gym later? What do you say the two of us work up a sweat?
What is this? What is this CGI Magenta? I kind of like the idea of him being a ladies' man, also a ladies' man who keeps striking out and failing.
Guess that's a no.
But why is he in this story and only this story?
Missions for that. Just tinkering, darling.
Speaking of new characters,
To see you up and about.
here's CGI Rhapsody making her first appearance.
Not exactly.
Still keeping the Sloane tones of the original. And that's the phone.
That's the phone.
What's Serena doing down here?
Hey, Serena!
Oh dear, Green's gonna throw herself out the airlock. And I do like this sequence for how sudden and unexpected it is. Green has seen the computer screen and she's just out the airlock. She's undoing her tunic. Destiny is frantically trying to pull her back in. That's it, Rhapsody stuns her. What's interesting about that scene as well is, and I've actually only just noticed it recently, is although Destiny she's holding on to the wall with one hand and she's holding on to Green with the other, her hand that's holding onto the wall isn't actually holding anything. I think the character is slightly too short to reach the space on the wall that she's clearly meant to be holding on to, but she can't quite reach. So there we go, I've ruined that scene for you.
Fernandez was working at a computer before he left the house. Adam checked it out before he uploaded its data to Skybase. Serena saw it.
I don't know.
And here's Dr. Gold.
Is this... Mason, no!
Oh dear, gonna give himself an overdose of...
An anesthetic overdose.
Oh dear.
He's not seen the Fernandez computer. Or Serena's.
He wouldn't need to. This thing is a virus. It's infected every computer on Skybase.
A computer virus that actually kills?
Ah, what a nice idea for a Scarlet story. I know it's probably not original in terms of fiction, but then very few things are. It's just, oh...
King bomb.
And I suppose they could have done it on the original series, but it wouldn't have been
Lies for 36 hours.
as relevant as it is to us today in our computer age. This is strange, though.
Oh! Symphony!
So there's a virus that could potentially, anybody could have seen this thing. Let's pump anesthetic gas into the base and knock out everyone except the two people that we know weren't exposed to it. And this is something I think that happened on Space 1999 once as well. They do it without warning anybody. So there could be potentially somebody using like a saw or something, doing some really dangerous work, and they just pump in the anesthetic gas. Anyway, clearly there's nobody doing anything like that on Skybase. Everyone is now knocked out except for
6 hours.
Scarlet and, of course, Destiny, because she
The Mysterons don't realize all Earth's defenses are down.
crashed her plane into the sea. Why would all Earth's defenses be down? This is a nice use of the existing Skybase set. There are lots of staircases, leading various places. So we can have this room here now that I've forgotten what this room actually is, but it looks very nice. If you're wondering what the phone call was about, by the way, I've booked myself it's Sunday when I'm recording this, and I thought I'd treat myself to a Sunday lunch from a nearby pub, have it home delivered, so they were just calling to take card payment for that.
Right now, this is one awesome number cruncher, but it means I can isolate the virus and, I hope, destroy it.
By exposing yourself to it.
Don't worry, Destiny. We both know I'm not that easy to kill.
Oh,
That's
an interesting animation goof on the back of Scarlet's hair there.
But look what happened to Adam and Serena when they went self-destruct.
It almost looked like the back of his hair had sort of his face on it. Something went a bit weird with the lighting and the shadows there, which is a shame because it's now after dark on Skybase, and yeah, the room looks nice and atmospheric and moody. Destiny's going to shut herself in Colonel White's office. She will be safe from the effects of the virus, while Scarlet attempts to go through Green's console to try and isolate the thing, safely out of view.
Okay. Here goes. Knock, knock.
And yeah, here we go with an explanation of what the virus actually is. And at this point, you know, I could accept the robotic nature of people when they start to self-destruct, but here we actually see what has been imprinted on people to make them do this. And let's not beat about the bush here. The imagery is quite intense. It's meant to imply that this urge for self-destruction, for suicide, is caused by the Mystrons presenting images of the very worst of humanity. And in that case, I don't understand why people who've tried to kill themselves aren't more hysterical at the sight of... What's this? This is World War II footage. The music's doing a great job here, by the way. Yeah, aerial combat footage. There was a statue coming down there. Somebody cradling a child. An atom bomb going off. This is quite heavy stuff for a kids' show, and I'm just surprised that when people self-destruct as a result of seeing this...
Can you hear me?
This part of the virus, they're not sort of screaming and crying. Oh no, Scarlet sheds a tear there.
I'm alright.
I don't know, maybe this is just part of like a defense mechanism of the virus if anyone tries to delete it.
Virus isolated. Cross-referencing data with Spectrum Medical Databank.
And, I mean, to be fair, this isn't the most heroic conclusion to an episode Scarlet has ever been part of, you know, just typing away on the keyboard.
Processed. Treatment identified.
But he's found it. He's isolated the virus. Deleted it. Now, he's got to go somewhere. Because he can't deal with what he's seen.
Stop, Paul! You don't have to do this!
Oh, Destiny. You should have thought this through. Could have had maybe like, I don't know, an anesthetic on standby, just in case. Didn't think this through. Anyway, Scarlet's off to engineering. And this is where, again, we're making really good use of the control room set here, where we've got multiple lifts. Destiny is following Scarlet in the other lift. He's already made it to engineering. She's not quite there yet. Oh, now she thinks to use her gun on the stun setting. Oh, this is another lovely set as well, this engineering set. Oh dear. Again, the question of why a Spectrum pistol...
Destiny
is designed to cut through Spectrum armor.
Can't cheat it.
Scarlet's trying to make his way into the Skybase reactor.
You'll be disintegrated! Don't!
And she shot him again. But it's still not going to stop him. He's a man on a mission. And she shot him again. Just shrugged that one off.
Radiation leak imminent.
radiation leak imminent.
This is rather reminiscent of Zoroth walking into the reactor in Force of Life, but now Destiny has switched her gun to kill mode. That's it, that got him. Because again, of course, Spectrum armor cannot stand up to Spectrum firearms. I suppose it's a convenient thing for certain stories, but I from a real-world perspective, I would have to question why.
So did I.
Anyway.
Good thing, I guess.
Everything's all better now.
Everyone's okay.
Yay.
Some kind of electronic neural stimulation seems to have fixed everyone.
Ah, alright, okay. I'll take your word for that.
I still need treatment.
Oh no.
No, you're...
Ah. No.
I ought to shoot you more often.
Oh, God.
Got me right through the heart.
Excuse me for a moment, I've got some urgent business. There's a bucket outside I've got to be sickened to.
Oh, new Captain Scarlet, what is it with you about being phenomenally good and then just those endings? Ugh! Anyway, that was Virus. That's another strong episode from the second series. Not quite one of the greats. Really nice idea. Again, it becomes the Scarlet and Destiny show. I much prefer it when this show makes full use of its characters, because there's some lovely characters here, and many of them get some moments to shine here, including Mad Old Magenta. That was his first and last speaking role on the series.